All right, y'all, let's get into it. Inside Star Citizen shipping out. What are we shipping?
Alpha 322 is right around the corner and available for testing now on the
and this is
public test universe.
already outdated because 322 is live now.
Flyable and drivable
I don't
vehicles
understand
from
that. Why would
manufacturers
they? I don't know. Okay, I don't know when he recorded this, but yeah, this released basically 12 hours ago, or the time I'm watching it, and they released it 322 the same day.
as a POA,
Wow.
Origin, and Drake. Let's find out more.
So in Alpha 322, we have 3 new vehicles available. And they cover
Ooh.
a huge range of both size and role, and we're going to spend a little bit of time talking about them. Let's start with the most exotic, the Aopa Santok Yai.
So I passed this ship because, I mean, they're pretty cool. It just doesn't like, whoa, it's not like super awesome to me. I have a Car2All, the lightweight version. I love the maneuverability. I love the little ball control. I love the way the stairs come out and float. I just know something about this aesthetic. I'm just not crazy about. I'm not gonna lie. And I don't know. It just doesn't seem like that much effort went into this. It looks exactly like the Car2All, even though I know they use the same designs and stuff. But it just looks like a slightly bigger Car2All. So that's what made me not get this.
The Santok Yai is a medium fighter from Aopa.
Santok
but
Yai!
It doesn't follow the traditional medium fighter role that we see with human manufacturers. It has, for its size, quite a lot of health and classic Xi'an high maneuverability.
Oh
as
shit,
well as
there's a
being
punch above his
extremely
waist,
flashy in
class.
both its function and form.
The idea with the alien ships is that
That
we
is a
don't
nice
want them just to
interface,
feel
though.
alien, we want them to
Ooh.
feel different within their own rights, within that kind of alien spectrum. On the Gattax side of things, we've really kind of tried to make them feel quite industrial, quite strong and chunky. Whereas on the Apoa side of things, we took more inspiration from
Gattaka's
the
so much
insect
cooler.
form, so we want them to feel a lot faster, a little bit more kind of aggressive and have
That
a bit
paint
more
job
attack
clean,
in
though.
their shapes.
That
When you
green.
first see the Santok Yai, you'll clearly see the family lineage between itself and the Car2Al, which is the light fighter
Okay.
from Aopa.
Okay, well, seeing them next to each
They're
other.
kind of
Okay. Yeah, they still kind of look the same. Shit, the Car2All still looks better to me, in
second
my
Xi'an
opinion.
ship that they've made, and it's really bringing kind of a big brother.
They both have 2 stages, or 2 transform states, from landed to the flight pose, and you see
Let's
that very
see it.
classic Aopa flowering transformation from a
Yeah.
horizontal position to the more vertical flight and combat
I mean,
position.
this is like copy my homework, just switch some stuff around type thing. I mean, same answer. You can copy all the same answers.
Nice big transforming kind of style when it transforms from landed mode into flight mode. But we've really tried to kind of push the alien aesthetics a little bit further this time, both interior and exterior. One of the kind of more unique elements, I think, on the Santok Yai is its cockpit. Not just the space inside, but actually how you enter it. It's
Nah,
got this
that's
really
dope.
kind of exotic, shall I say, seat that comes down to collect you from the player
Coming
space,
from the
and then
side?
floats down and takes you back into your actual pilot position.
Oh,
One
that
of the
go
things that we
hard.
Really spent quite a bit of time investigating and kind of really trying to kind of nail the visuals on was the actual interactions with the cockpit. We wanted to make sure we weren't stepping on the toes of what we did in the Gattax cockpit, and it needed to be like its own unique thing. Elwin and the Austin team kind of really nailed that visually. It's got these really nice sort of slate
Dude.
buttons with all the Xi'an text.
The
in it.
cockpit is
And
fire.
One of the things we were really keen
And
to
the
do with
seat?
kind of all of our alien ships is remove a lot of that human element.
Yeah.
They may be made to be human compatible, but we really wanted them to feel like their native race was the people that built it, and that's who it was made for.
Yeah,
number
y'all
one.
nailed the
And so we've
inside.
got these kind of really nice
That cockpit's
interactive
fire.
tablets with all the Xi'an text on them. Do have a number of paints coming out with the Santok Yai. They are still currently just being developed and signed off as we're filming this now. Again, we tried to kind of do something not necessarily kind of completely new, but kind of just push the bar slightly with what we're trying to do. It's that kind of fine thing where
Oh,
alien doesn't
that
always
paint
mean
job is sweet.
fancy and unique, but we do want it to feel a little bit different to what our kind of human
That
races
red
are.
is nice,
It's
too.
very obvious when you see the silhouette of the ship and when you see it in flight
White,
what it is,
eh.
but the paints is kind of that little icing on top, and also it kind of gives that really nice read when you get up and close and personal with it.
The Santok Yai is a fighter through and through. It really excels at that. It doesn't have any secret hidden features, but it does have all of our latest tech and features within it, such as weapon racks, personal storage, and accessible.
Oh, that's so cool.
So this
Oh,
is
that's
really
so
cool
cool how them
as
weapons
you
come
prize
out.
Maneuverability and position in combat. The firepower of the ship is pretty good for its size, but its real strength is its maneuverability.
Oh, of course. It's so hard to hit
Santok
these
GI,
damn
available
things.
in 322, and we think it's going to be a great addition to our lineup of fighters and alien ships. Just like the other ones, it's great for those players who want that role, but just want something a bit more stylish and exotic.
Oh. Man, once them wings get hit, that thing's going to be terrible
From there,
atmospheric.
let's go from space combat and atmospheric combat down to the surface and talk about the
Yay!
Origin
I
X1
got the 3-pack
This
of
one is
these.
Origin's first hoverbiking game. It's their kind of answer to some of the other hoverbikes we've already got from different manufacturers, like the Nox, the Dragonfly. This bike was kind of developed alongside the 400i in its concept phase, and the idea was...
This reminds me, I don't know if you, I probably don't know who's seen Star Wars, which I'm pretty sure most of you nerds seen Star Wars. But the way he sits up on this bike reminds me of the Count Dooku bike he had on Attack of the Clones? I think so. He was like sitting upward, and this bike reminds me of that.
Classic, smaller kind of day vehicle that you can take out from your big, exciting
I
Explorer
can't
ship.
wait to try
Those
my
two kind of go
400i.
Hand in hand, it has its own little garage at the front of the 400i.
Might be my first
and
ship
it
I
really just
try
allows
with
you to,
this,
once you
the
land on
X1.
planet, you can then kind of leave everything back in your ship and go out and explore and kind of chase down the thrills of the planet on a nice little hover bike.
I'm sure the more enterprising of you out there will be finding all different ways of getting these into places they shouldn't be, such
Yes.
as the upcoming distribution centers.
That's what I love. Troll them NPCs. Oh, dude, I miss when we had the buggies in the town. Like, that was like my favorite thing, just running over people. The NPCs you couldn't hit, but it was just so much fun and chaos. I just wish they'd bring that back, but have security actually do something, attack you, lock your ass up. I would love to see that, bring that back, because let's be honest, the regular Great Cat, what is it? The PTV is it called? I don't know, I forget. The smaller one, it really has no use but to really drive in these cities, because you're going to use the bigger Great Cat. I forgot the name of the bigger one. Maybe that was called the PTV. I don't know. You guys get what I'm saying, though. There's a bigger Great Cat that's more made for going on planets. The little PTV is made for like little stuff like this, the little golf cart.
I think one of the things that's been kind of super nice to see as the bike's kind of gone through its development is really selling the idea of this bike being a hopper bike. We've got a lot of VFX and lighting going in from the teams, really selling it that it does feel like a bike in the future. We've got these nice brake lights at the rear, we've got the kind of front lights, and one of my favorite bits on it is actually
This looks
the
good.
cockpit, the kind of like the driver's space. The dashboard in there looks super nice, really sleek, kind of classic Origin, and it all flows really nicely with the rest of the shapes.
Oh. Are we going to get...
X1
This is the
series-
real question. Are we going to get a handlebar picture for Luminalia? That's what I need to know. If we don't get the handlebar picture, I mean, is it going to be even worth anything? Let's keep it real.
Is a series of 3 bikes that allow Origin to have their own edge of the market in terms of hover bikes and to have 3 different play styles within them. With the X1 Force, this is designed to aid in ground combat, allowing you to be on a speedy, small profile target with some shielding to allow you to absorb a few hits and help engage combat. And then we have the Velocity.
This is my question with this. When you go in those settlements, what is going to be the point of going in there, gun blazing, when you just hop on your ground vehicles, just light everyone up? Why would I even bother messing up my armor, losing my shit, when I could just come at y'all and smack you up with one of these or any other rover or a tank? That's what I don't understand. So we're going to need some ground forces at these settlements that could possibly come out and fight. We're gonna need those, and I don't know. I don't think they're future-proofed for that, but maybe there needs to be some tanks out, depending on how bad your reputation is with them. Maybe it might be on site. As soon as you pull up, they're whipping out the tanks and rovers, or got some turrets to just immediately defend against your ass. That's
which
what I want to see.
removes the weapon hardpoint and instead gains speed. Whilst tuning is underway at the time of recording, we intend the X1 Velocity to be a competitor to the Nox, and both of those are designed to be faster than the Dragonfly, which is more utilitarian.
Damn,
So
those
the
things are
Velocity
fast.
is a great addition to the ground racing community and will be right at home in all the ground racing tracks.
So if it was like in real world, I would say the Drake Dragonfly is more like a Harley. These are more like what do you call the Kawasaki's or Honda bikes, the sport bikes. Sometimes they call them another nickname is Rice Rockets. Y'all know what I'm talking about, like Suzuki bikes. That's what this would remind me of.
The base X1 is there to provide an option for those of you who don't like the Nox or just don't like whatever aesthetic you think Drake users have.
Uh-oh. There's going to be some salt in the comments.
And speaking of Drake aesthetics, that moves us nicely on to the last ship of 322, the Drake Cutter Rambler.
The Cutter Rambler is our third variant of the Cutter series, and it kind of rounds off the series as a whole.
As we talked about it,
You know,
the Drake Cutter family was always designed as a family of 3, and we've shown you the base one.
the Cutter always had, like, I mean, the body of it has so much potential. It's just this freaking cockpit right here. It's just the way the front, it looks like a van. Like, look at that. That's a freaking van. And the cockpit, if they would have made the cockpit a little better, I may have would have grabbed one of these. I may have. It's just I can't get over this space front van front feeling right here. I can't. But the rest of the ship looks fire. You move this and just look at this. Ooh. It's like a girl with a hot body, like she's got a 10 out of 10 banging body, and you look at that face, it's just like someone smacked her with some bricks.
And the Scout.
Lord.
The Rambler is the third one, and it is designed from the start to be the more fleshed out premium starter explorer combination of the 3. I know Premium and Drake might be a bit of a weird juxtaposition there.
They are very functional.
Damn,
manufacturer,
Drake
and
is
those
catching
drills
strays,
manufacturer. That
as
really kind of
always.
is sold nicely on the interior space. We've sacrificed some of the rear cargo space for the larger habitation.
This allows extra space for both a suit locker, a food machine, and somewhere to eat that food, and a nice little table to chill at.
See, that's
But even within
this
that
is where that
habitation,
ship is
you
going
can
to
see how
shine
they've
at.
moved the bulkhead back one, they've moved the bathroom, they've opened up this nice space, and then they put, you know, a seat, a desk, a little jump seat, and the bare minimum you need as a pilot going out and exploring.
I
our
love that.
universe. We want to make sure there was visually some differences on the exterior. So we've got the kind of visual only differences, such as the kind of like the modified.
Man, them
rear
graphics
section.
look good. I don't know if it's
We've
that
also
paint
got the kind
job.
of more functional stuff. So on top, it's got the
Whew.
extended fuel tank. Visually, we kind of lent into the idea of having your Winnebago or your camper van or whatever it might be, and it's got this kind of like
Wow.
roof rack aesthetic, but it's actually kind of stores all the extra kind of fuel for the extended fuel tanks. And then as with the Scout, we've got the change in the thrusters, and again, we've got a unique set of thrusters on a new nacelles on each side. that
Those
really help
thrusters
kind of
are
just
so
break up that
badass.
silhouette, a little bit more variation. With the Rambler being kind of a longer range or an extended range vehicle, I think having the kind of like the slightly smaller, they look a little bit more efficient on the engines rather than these great
Man,
kind of
I can't get over how
V6
good the
engines with slightly
game looks
smaller,
right now.
more of them individual thrusters. I'm very happy with the Rambler. One of the things that we kind of really tried to lean into when we were developing the Rambler was Drake's kind of mentality towards building their ships. I think it kind of ticked that box of exactly what Drake would do. They've got this chassis, they want to make somewhere you can spend a bit more time in, somewhere that's a little bit more comfortable, but they're still kind of working to that.
Where's that little
Drake
door go to
budget
over there?
and design ethos. So I'm very happy with how it turned out.
The Rambler really takes the base Cutter to the next level in terms of living on board. I think we all saw that when the Cutter came out, but it was very much more of a camper van than an RV, which is what the Rambler is.
I like that. I like how you could just go out and live in
So
this
that's the wrap
thing.
up of all the new vehicles coming to the Persistent Universe in 322. And as always, we look forward to seeing you all use them and abuse them in all different ways
Well,
in the live game.
I got the bikes. I don't have the other two. I want
Now,
to try
of course,
those out.
Alpha 322 comes with more than just vehicles. There's structural salvage, openable cargo containers, new derelict settlements, new hairs for players,
Wow.
new maps for Arena Commander, and more. But since this
I
is
can't
our
wait to
last
come back
episode
and
of the
try
year,
this.
we have a tradition here at ISC of looking back at everything that's happened the last 12 months and reliving some of our favorite moments. And, well, look, 2023 was good. Great even if you gloss over that little rough patch in the middle there. But heading into the new year, all that I can really think about is
Oh, this is the
everything
last
that's on
episode of the year?
horizon that's about to make 2024 the biggest and baddest year of our project yet. So if it's all right with you, I'd like to indulge myself, maybe switch out my CIG cap and put my backer hat on and tell you what has me excited about this next year for the Persistent Universe in a segment that I'm calling Disco Lando's Star Citizen 2020 Forecast. Now, without talking specific dates, let's discuss what's being targeted and currently on track for release in just the first half of 2024, starting with Master Modes, the new way to pilot and operate ships we've been discussing since CitizenCon 2952. Now, whether that's every ship or a staggered rollout of groups of vehicles depends on how work progresses, but it's a major change to the way spaceships operate in the Persistent Universe, and you can be sure that we'll update on it more when the time comes.
The flight was looking good
And of course, when your
when I
ships
saw
aren't in
that.
flight, they can be stored in the newly persistent hangars that are arriving with freight elevators, freight kiosks, and the new cargo transaction system that we've shared on both ISC and this year's CitizenCon. Now, all combined, they form the next major evolution of cargo careers and will also have far-reaching, broader implications for the entire Star Citizen experience. And then outside of vehicles and hangars, there's also a variety of FPS combat improvements coming to the first half of 2024. With improvements to reloading, the weapon...
So far, what he's saying is the stuff he's talking about right now is the first half. So quarter 1 and 2, that this stuff is going to be coming in, which I'm down with that. I'm down.
Air and misfire system, scopes and dynamic crosshairs and charge and drain and even more we'll be able to show you once we return in the new year. And then outside of strictly FPS combat, there are new player character features coming like the updates to the EVA system, the visor and lens system.
I can't wait for the
loot
EVA.
Screens, default item interactions in the personal interaction system, and there's even new shopping and mission apps in development now. And while we're talking about apps, the first half of 2024 is also currently scheduled to see the arrival of our new character customizer with things like tattoos.
It's going to be awesome.
Piercings, scars, and yes, Virginia, it's true, beards. And as for how many and of what kind, only Andre knows for sure, but you can bet we're going to ask him sometime around March. And then, of course, if you're in-game, there's also a little thing called Mobiglass and an awfully big
That's
thing
a big
called Star
one.
Map.
When are those coming?
Big updates in the first half of next year. And have I mentioned those enormous distribution centers that'll be the new microcosm?
This is the first half too?
Every gameplay and mission feature that exists in Star Citizen, as well as the 4, 5, 6, let's just say several new and updated vehicles that are making their way to the Persistent Universe in just the first 6 months of 2024. I did, just now. Now you can check those off.
Hey, that's ambitious right there.
Okay, so real talk. CIG hat back on. Now, you're probably looking at your screen and saying to yourself, what about Pyro and 4.0? Well, don't fret. The things that we just covered are those that aren't too dependent on continuing foundational tech work like server meshing. So we feel pretty confident in targeting everything that we just shared for the first 6 months. But when it comes to something as enormous as the complete Pyro system in Alpha 4.0, well, that's where the new preview channel comes into play. Now that said, Alpha 4.0 is currently targeting a summer 2024 release, but that won't mean that you have to wait until then.
Hold on. Let me rewind this.
That's where the new preview channel comes into play. Now that said, Alpha 4.0 is currently targeting a summer 2024 release, but that won't mean that you have to wait until then to play it or learn more about it. That's because in 2024, we'll continue doing play tests like the one we just completed, and you'll be able to follow along with its development firsthand on the preview channel.
Oh.
That's the planets, moons, space stations, settlements, and outlaw lifestyle that comes within the Pyro system, but also an entire host of additional new features, content, and quality of life improvements like, fully functional jump points, the new quantum travel system, new vehicle HUD and MFD work, resource management, hacking, and much, much more.
Dude, this is gonna be huge. If CIG kicks ass like how I'm hoping they're gonna kick ass, this is gonna be amazing. Like, this is a different style of development they're going, letting us play it, test it out, iron all the kinks out. Like, this is going to be a big test for us to do and help them get along. So I'm definitely going to hop back in. This month I'm gonna hop in and try, but this is gonna be huge. All the stuff they're getting out, and they're trying to get this out in the summer. This is gonna be wild.
All being worked on in tandem. The preview channel will let you and us test 4.0 together while maintaining the stability of the persistent universe with all those other great additions we just discussed. And then, in the summer of 2024, 2 become 1, and we can avoid that thing that didn't quite go the way that we'd hoped.
The holiday live stream?
And then, just because we're cheeky, there are still some things better left for you to discover on your own. And don't forget, we haven't even talked about the back half of the year yet. All in all, 2024 is shaping up to be the watershed year for Star Citizen. And if we've learned anything this year, it's that...
So, obviously, WaterTech's going to come in the second half. The WaterTech. So, that's one. What else is coming? I guess server mesh, because I never said nothing about server mesh, but does Pyro need server meshes when he said that 2 things combined? Oh, I don't know. We'll see. I don't think, maybe he didn't mean that, but if server mesh comes in the summer, that'd be dope.
Through the trials of 3.18 to the successes of CitizenCon and everything in between, before that and coming up next, Star Citizen is a project that continues to iterate, to evolve, and to embody an experience you simply can't find anywhere else, whether that's in the universe or within our community that makes all this possible. So thank you for helping us reach the heights that we have, and buckle up for the journey still ahead. We're in for one hell of a year. For Inside Star Citizen, I'm Jared Huckabee. Thanks for letting us share the process of game development with you, and we'll see you all here next year.
Hey, man, good show to end off right there, baby. Good last show. You know, I know a lot of people are going to be skeptical, rightfully so, but I really think CIG is going to kick some ass this year. You got a lot of people off Squadron 42 now. Thank goodness, Squadron 42 is pretty much finished. Now we're going to have, you know, all these teams are getting the backup coming in, getting these dudes in tune. Boom, boom, boom. We're doing this in Squadron. In the PU, blase toi. Things on the roadmap might actually come out on time with these teams around helping and stuff. So 2024 is going to be a big, big year. I know a lot of people said that before. I haven't said that before, but this is going to be the year for Star Citizen. I mean, they got to bring the heat, and they got to show people, like, hey, we're not just sitting around, you know, twiddling our thumbs. We're actually putting in that work, and you see how much faster we're going since we got the people off Squadron 42. We could finish this in the next 2-3 years. That's what CIG needs to show. Like, hey, if we moving at this speed with this, it's like all hands on deck almost. They'll probably prove a lot of people like, hey, we're actually going to do this in the next 2-3 years. So, yeah, sad that we're not going to see Inside Star Citizen for a while, but that's cool. Our React channel, I don't know what I'm going to do. I'm probably going to watch some other stuff. So, thank you guys for tuning in. I'm sitting there rambling on, but I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you on the next one, whenever that is, on this channel. But you can see me on my main channel, Sub Geo. So, see y'all over there.